If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. USA, USA, USA. It's the Freedom Phone, folks. That's right, the Freedom Phone. Huh? You got to get a load of this alt-right invention that people think is somehow protecting us from Big Brother and giving us free speech. I couldn't be more confused, and the entire thing couldn't be more hilarious. The alt-right has become just as comedic as the left. I mean, let's be realistic. And for those of you who are in on the alt-right, look, feel free to be here. Don't take it personal if you're insulted by any jokes about the left versus right paradigm. At some point, you'll wake up and realize that it's there to keep you divided. It used to be the easiest thing to wake people up from. Now it's the hardest thing, which is crazy. And a lot of people who are truthers, or whatever the term is, whoever believes in this stuff and talks to people knows that the left-right's not real. In your day-to-day life, you don't have to be a truther or whatever on YouTube or anywhere else. But you know, it used to be really easy up until this whole Trump thing, up until they really ignited the left-right in the last 8 years with Obama and Trump and everything and Biden. Before that, people were like, yeah, they're all scammers and they're all in on it together. They really did actually think that. So it was a little bit easier to get to people, but now they will not break the left-right paradigm. And stuff like this should be easy to wake people up from because it's so ridiculous, so over the top, and so hokey. I mean, just look at this. We're supposed to believe that this kid is a Bitcoin millionaire. By the way, his parents both graduated from Ivy League Stanford. He dropped out of high school, became a millionaire at Bitcoin, was paraded around the country as a public speaker, has a personality like a dead moth, couldn't be less interesting, but people are gravitating to him. Huh? No, it's force-fed because all of these things are part of the paradigm. Listen to the Freedom Phone and how the Freedom Phone is apparently saving you or giving you free speech, which is in itself is so ridiculous because we'll get into it with the NSA and what this phone is claiming to do, but just look at this.
Name one time in history where the people who banned books, media, and opinions were the good guys. Hi, I'm Eric. I'm the world's youngest Bitcoin millionaire. I made it in Silicon Valley, and I've accomplished a lot in my life already. But now, I'm leaving big tech to fight for free speech, because the big tech overlords are violating your privacy, censoring your speech, and I think that's so wrong. That's why I created the Freedom Phone and its uncensorable app store. Everyone is complaining about big tech censorship, but no one is doing anything about it. They say, build your own phone. So I did. Freedom Phone truly is the best phone in the world. It does everything your current phone does, except censor you and spy on you. With the Freedom Phone, your freedom of speech is our #1 priority. That's why we built our own app store that is completely uncensored. If an app you love has been banned from the mainstream app stores, you can still download it on ours because we don't ban apps, period. And we've developed the first operating system based on your free speech. There's no app tracking, no keyboard tracking, and no location tracking because I believe in your security. How do we ensure you're being protected? Say hello to Trust. Trust is our privacy guard. It's designed to warn you whenever an app or a website is tracking you, and gives you the option to stop it. Your data, your rules. That's our motto. The Freedom Phone is comparable to the best smartphones on the market. It has an edge-to-edge screen, a super fast processor, and multiple cameras. And your SIM card transfers into the Freedom Phone seamlessly. Big tech companies hold a monopoly on public communication and the dissemination of information, and they are abusing that power. Nobody elected Mark or Jack to be the arbiters of truth in America, yet they still thought it was okay to ban a sitting president from their platforms. If they censor a president, they will censor anyone. Imagine if Mark Zuckerberg censored MLK or Abraham Lincoln. The course of history would have been altered forever. Out of all the constitutional amendments, there's a reason why the founding fathers made the right to free speech the very first. I believe you have a voice that deserves to be heard without being censored. Protect yourself from big tech censorship. Let your voice be heard. Live free with the Freedom Phone.
Well, for starters, you get the guy holding up the 666 multiple times. But I mean, I'm supposed to believe that's the Trump symbol, remember? Right? That's what they kind of say. Oh, but it's the Trump thing. All right, so all the people who were listening and believing that all, these signs and symbols were real until Trump adopted it, suddenly they decided, oh, well, that doesn't mean that. It means everything's going to be okay. It's the symbol of freedom. That's the one that Trump chose? Huh? Oh, he didn't know it was this. Oh, sure. Yep, whatever you say. So let's take a look at this this is a charade is what it is. And this guy here, who goes by the name of Eric Feynman. Eric Feynman, the story is he dropped out of high school. He invested $1,000 his grandfather gave him. This is a common American dream type story, and they continue to work the alt-right and the left, of course, because the left fully believes in the American dream crap. But so does the alt-right. They're like, we're going to get things back to the way they used to be. Patriots and all this stuff. So they don't want to give up on that. They want to keep that going. And a lot of them might not be, saved through the blood of Christ. So their only hope they put in is in man to do something about it, to get this back to the old USA, right? So this guy drops out. His grandfather gives him $1,000. He invests in Bitcoin. Now he's a millionaire. He's rolled around to TEDx and all these places where we know they put these plans to speak. Obviously, something went wrong with the programming because he has no personality, so you wouldn't think anyone would pay a dime to listen to him talk, but they pretend like, oh, he's this big successful guy. Now he wants to come out and save us from free speech being taken away, and people believe it. They don't ask questions and say, let's start with free speech. Okay, let me get this straight. Let's start here. I have a cell phone. Last time I checked, I wasn't being interrupted on my phone when I talked to Grandma about the recipe for her baked potato, right? I don't hear anyone jumping in, interrupting. Now, the NSA is always listening. It doesn't matter what phone you're on. The problem is the NSA. The problem is that we've allowed laws to be passed which give them the right to eavesdrop, spy, and listen. Now, what this phone's talking about are apps that were taken off of Apple and Google. First of all, who cares? Second of all, fine, if you want the app, then get the phone. But that doesn't mean that it's free speech and privacy proof. Nothing is privacy proof. I mean, that's right off the bat, that should have raised an alarm that it's a scam. Secondly, that the alt-right is pushing it. Thirdly, if you believe this guy's story, when his parents so they had a dropout kid, they both went to Ivy League Stanford, likely members of a massive secret society, and the stuff that they're involved in Idaho with technology should raise.
Hey, so you know how you see those ads on YouTube from those guys that say they're making hundreds of thousands, millions?
You should raise some eyebrows to you as well, as far as transhumanism and what's coming with the chip and everything else. But we won't even get into that because we could just use basic questions for those of you who have heard this and said, wow, maybe I'll get a freedom phone. Well, for starters, when it comes to freedom of speech on the internet, we're talking about places like YouTube, okay? We're talking about people, that's the thing, right? People are getting there. He's mentioning Trump. Oh, his Twitter shut down. What does that have to do with this freedom cell phone? Huh? If Trump tweets on this phone, Twitter can't take it down? If I put a YouTube video up on this phone, YouTube can't take it down? No, that's not happening. That has nothing to do with these platforms censoring people. Okay? Whether you agree or you don't agree. Obviously, I don't agree with any of the censorship. But this phone is not saving you from censorship. And secondly, there's nothing with the phone that directly communicates to block the NSA from listening to you. And that's the number one thing people should always think about with their phone. The NSA, Big Brother. Not, oh, I could get these apps that Google took away. It's an alternative platform for me. Oh, how are people believing this stuff? How are people not even just saying, what? Who is this guy? Why am I listening to him? How did he get here? Oh, his parents were parts of secret society. Oh, okay. Well, Eric Feynman, the self-proclaimed Bitcoin millionaire, that's his gimmick, has launched a new smartphone designed to fight back against big tech companies by promoting free speech and security. The Freedom Phone comes with its own app store, which will feature apps that are blocked or banned by Apple and Google. And that's pretty much the catch, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know what those apps are because I don't have apps. Yeah, I'm a, what do they call it? The boomer? No, I'm actually not. I just not interested. Don't have the time and don't care. Although the details haven't yet been given, they claim, even though they're already promoting it, it's probably promoting it just to see how dumb people push it. And apparently someone named Candace Owens, a conservative commentator, said, I just did a live on Instagram taking everyone through the new Freedom Phone. This is in Newsweek, by the way. Whew, rough article. New phone, which is now trending. So excited that I partnered with Solution against Apple and Google. You're not partnering with anyone against Apple or Google. Meanwhile, she's probably recording the whole thing on a MacBook. So whether the phone will give Donald Trump a new platform after he was banned from Twitter and Facebook remains to be seen. Okay, so what does that mean? So everyone who has the Freedom Phone gets direct messages from Trump? Is that what the catch is? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Well, who cares? You can make your own website. Trump can make a website and tweet what he wants and he says. But of course, everything Trump's doing is part of the plan for censorship. So if Trump did that, the mainstream media would report on it every day. Then they'd say we need to get all websites censored and monitored. So, people, is this what it is? It's like you get a direct message from Trump and people are going to believe this? I mean, are we 5 years old? Is the Tooth Fairy going to text too? Holy moly. Holy moly. He can't do it on Twitter and he can't do it on YouTube. The whole purpose of those platforms, and like the reason that I'm still on YouTube is it's the only way to reach new people. The only people on BitChute are people who are already awake because no one's heard of it. And besides the fact, for those of you who think that the answer is Rumble and BitChute and all these places, go read the terms of service over there. They can pull you at any time too. Right? So as far as I'm concerned, the only place I have free speech is my website. So anyway, they say, what's the Freedom Phone? The handset has been described as a free speech and privacy-first phone. According to the company's website, the Freedom Phone comes with preloaded apps, so they have preloaded apps, which according to the website includes some of those popular banned and unbanned conservative sites and apps. So they're force-feeding you. It's no different than what they do with the television. They're force-feeding you the apps. We're going to put these on. These are well-vetted and trusted apps of alt-right conservative news. I mean, give me a break. What's going to be on there? InfoWars? The Freedom Phone will also have its own app store with the website stating that customers will be allowed to read what you like, watch what you like, think what you like. Okay, for starters, people can still watch what they like, they can still read what they like, and they can still think what they like. I mean, that doesn't really make sense, but I guess they're really just dumping gasoline on the fire of free speech, trying to milk it for every penny it's worth, or trick people in the alt-right into thinking that this is a alternative platform where they're pretending that the data and everything stored in it isn't going to Apple or Google. It's probably going directly to the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. That's what you're dealing with. I mean, an even faster route, pretty much, if you sign up for this, is what my guess would be, because they're already considering these people fringe, and the Q stuff is gaslighting, types of militia type behavior, not what I'm trying to do here, which is more making people aware, right? So then they gaslight people with the Q stuff, and then they're all on this phone, and then they're like, oh, we're protected, we can say what we want. This is going to go directly to, this is a quicker route, so they don't even have to vet and go through stuff at the NSA to get this stuff into the proper hands of people who can come knock on your door and put you away because they don't like what you're saying or thinking about doing. I mean, give me a break. Is it just me? I mean, are people, am I going to see comments in the comment section of people who are come on, call, you got to give it a chance. It's going to be it's a phone. It's connected. The phone is connected. They have control of all this stuff. That's why I say the same thing about Bitcoin and all this. They would shut it down. Some guy just comes up one day and goes, I'm going to make my own currency. You don't think that was tried before hundreds of years ago when they came in and they tried to tax people and they wanted to end the bartering system? Of course they did. They would have shut Bitcoin down. And this guy, we're supposed to believe yes, the American dream. He's living it. He just got rich. Now he wants to protect your freedom. Who? Guy's holding up the 666 sign for starters. And besides the fact, anyone who's keeping you in the left-right paradigm does not have your best interest at heart. There are some people who are clueless, or they just don't realize, I shouldn't say clueless, they don't realize the left-right paradigm, or they don't want to believe it, but they're really doing a detriment to society, because the left-right paradigm is where the problem resides, because that's the wall that's keeping everyone from getting to the elites. Everyone in the middle, it's like we're on a hill, the elites are up in the back on a mountain, and everyone down below in the valley is the left and the right. And there's a wall between it because they're all rumbling with each other. Instead of turning and looking at the mountain and saying, those are the people who are the problem. They're looking at each other. And we can't get through that mess to get to the elites. That's how this all works. So this is Eric Feynman, folks, looking out for your best freedoms. The Freedom Phone, the biggest scam I've seen, well, since soy burgers. Oh, boy. Don't buy into it, folks. You're being spied on 24/7. There is no way around it. If you want some of the apps that were deleted, sure, get the phone. But just be careful what you text and write on that phone, because I guarantee you it's giving you a direct route right to Big Brother's basement. Reminder, check out the website at callfornuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. Check it out if you haven't. I want to thank the Patreons for being here. Appreciate all of you greatly. Thank you guys for thumbsing up the videos, watching the ads, and leaving nice comments. I appreciate it greatly. God bless all of you and your families.